Hi, welcome to the show. This time we'll be reviewing Raya and the Last Dragon on 3D Blu-ray. And in case you're wondering, no, this is not a legit copy, but I mean it is the real 3D version, but it is a bootleg. But we'll save that for after the review. We'll get into a little bit about availability of Disney and other movies in general. Alright, so first of all, Raya came out during the end of what could be considered the pandemic, summer 2021. Did fairly well at the box office, released in 3D. And the 3D is really enjoyable in this one. It really enhances the experience. I mean, as a 3D fan, I feel that's always the case pretty much, except in extreme cases, but as far as Disney ones go, sometimes they can be on the weaker side, dial it back a little bit, but this had a lot of strong moments. It had scenes that were made to look like paper cutouts, puppets, and that works really well in 3D. All these moving layers from front to back, that worked really well. Had some nicely set up shots like the deep tunnel. A lot of strong sharp angles that catch your attention. It especially works well when there's a connection between the foreground deep into the background. Good amount of parallax. And these type of dramatic shots are all throughout the film. Shots of looking up at the rain coming right at you. The movie has striking artistic design, and the 3D is, I think, essential. It really adds to the drama and draws you in. So anyway, this Blu-ray, this is just something I threw together with a spare case and printed up some artwork for myself for my own collection. But the content on it, this was never released on Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray that is. In fact, this is important to note because there seems to be some confusion in this area about availability of certain movies. Here's the bottom line. Disney has not made available on 3D Blu-ray any 3D movies since early 2020 with Pixar's Onward. That was the last one, except for their Marvel movies, which are available from Amazon Japan at pretty high prices. But besides those, Disney has not released any 3D Blu-rays since early 2020, so I'm filming this in early 2023. It's been about 3 years. However, they did, this was out of nowhere it seems, because they usually don't do this, they did license the 3D version of Raya to a Russian streaming service. It's a streaming service called Okko. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what it looks like. I think it's OKKO. They have a few other 3D movies too. I'm not sure about the availability of them, but Disney does have one exclusive on there, Raya. So this is like a rare treat that they would even make this available. I'm not even sure why they did. But anyway, Chris from the Blu-ray Facebook group, he was able to make over, under, and ISO copies of the 3D version and share them with the members of the group. So thank you for your effort in doing that. And before in the comments you start to ask me for a copy, please don't, because I'm not too familiar with various forms of file sharing. And I'm not going to put it on my main file sharing because that could be triggered as if I'm using it for piracy. So that's you'll have to find some other way, maybe join the Blu-ray group. So anyway, as regards availability of these lost 3D movies in general, just to clear up some confusion, people have asked, what about this movie? What about that movie? For instance, many have asked, has anybody got a copy of like the Star Wars prequels, which they started to release but canceled and never made it to Blu-ray? Here's the thing. This is so far up to this point a standard. Anytime that a copy of a 3D movie has leaked, it has always been from a consumer format. And that can either be a Blu-ray 3D or a streaming version, such as this one, which was on a standard streaming service, or from some VR streaming services, like they had a leaked version of Bumblebee, as well as Captain Underpants and Trolls from DreamWorks. If something was at the theater and never made it to any consumer usable format, that there has never been a confirmed leak of that. Never. There have been some file sharing sites that have done fan-made auto conversions, but no true 3D version straight from a theater hard drive or DCP has ever been known or confirmed to be leaked into a consumer usable format. So yeah, obviously I'm not for piracy. If something is available on 3D Blu-ray reasonably, by all means, support the content creators. But if it's not available, then things like this, that's really the only option. And it's nice to know we might get these little surprises here and there when Disney manages to throw us a bone like this, even if it's on the other side of the world. I'll see you next time. It especially works well when there's a connection between